the ocean parted a path for the girl, and even created an aquarium just for her to admire. She is Moana, the one chosen by the sea, and in her arms, she holds her little sister. Tonight is the day Moana receives the title of Wayfinder. Just as she was about to accept the title, dark clouds suddenly gathered in the sky. A bolt of lightning struck Moana directly. In a trance, she saw her ancestors, the Wayfinders. They located the stars on the totem, and the island below they called Motofidu. Then another bolt of lightning struck. The ancestors were in danger and fell into the sea. Here, Moana saw a gigantic, glowing whale, swimming right past her, and in that very instant, the village was completely empty. Just as Moana was confused, an ancestor Wayfinder appeared behind her.
You must brave the storm, reconnect our people, find Motufetu.
I don't know how to reach it.
A fire in the sky will guide you.
Before Moana could even react, a bolt of lightning sent her back. Once upon a time, there was an ancient island, where all voyagers gathered. They communicated with each other, connecting the people across the entire ocean. However, during a terrible storm, there was a greedy god of power, Nalo. He believed that separating the people of the ocean would make humans weak, and thus he would become more powerful. The ancestors believed that as long as they reached Motofidu, they could break Nalo's curse and reunite their people. This mission was of great importance. Moana needed to lead a team to go there. Meanwhile, Maui arrived at a mysterious world. He wanted them to open a portal to the island, but Nalo's minions wouldn't let him in. Nalo is a god, and if he wants to unite the people of the sea against him, he will destroy both Maui and Moana. Maui certainly didn't want Nalo's plan to succeed, but he was no match for Nalo at all, and was even captured and hung up by him. At the same time, Moana ran into trouble just after setting off. Fireworks in the sky were blasted apart, and the ocean became turbulent. Just then, they spotted an island ahead. They couldn't believe they found Motofidu so quickly, but as they got closer, coconut trees slowly appeared one by one. They turned out to be the coconut pirates, the Kakamora. They had to leave immediately, but the sailboat was completely out of control. It actually slid straight toward the pirate ship, but instead of attacking them, they split their pirate ship in half. The next moment, a giant sea monster appeared before everyone, and instantly swallowed a small boat whole. Everyone was stunned by this horrifying scene, because they had never seen such a gigantic clam before. To save everyone from being eaten, Moana tied the wooden boat and the pirate ship together. Using the power of centrifugal force, she quickly swung the small boat to safety, but this also gave the coconut pirates an opening.
Bring it on!
Only Haihei managed to escape unharmed, casually pecking at a poison dart. Surprisingly, that move actually unfurled the sail. Seeing the pattern on it, the pirate chief was completely shocked. It turned out their homeland and Motofidu were in the same place, but the god Nalo feared that if humans united, it would threaten his position, so he cast a curse to separate the ocean, preventing humans from connecting with each other. The coconut pirates, who had struggled so hard to find their home, were blocked right in their path by that giant clam. The pirate chief stated that, if they could help destroy the giant clam, they would provide a way to get to Motofidu. After speaking, the pirates released a slug. Dragging its slime, it crawled over everyone's bodies, and the paralyzing toxin was instantly neutralized.
Tastes like coconut.
Their bodies immediately returned to normal. Then the Kakamora tickled the giant worm's nose, and the worm sprayed out a bowl full of venom. They just needed to stab a poison-coated spear into the clam's ganglion, and that terrifying monster would be taken down. The pirates sent them off with the grandest ceremony. With their fearless adventurous spirit, the team ventured right into the giant clam's body. They quickly located the clam's ganglion, but just as they were about to strike, a sudden massive wave came crashing in. It caused Moana to accidentally lose the spear. Then came the second one. And the third.
Well, I thought there'd be lunacy.
It turned out the giant clam sensed the danger, and sucked in a massive amount of seawater. Seeing the pirate ship about to be sucked in as well, the coconut warrior leaped into action. He precisely hit the clam's ganglion with his spear. But because of this, the clam shut tight in severe pain. Then it sank into the deep sea with Moana and the others. After a thrilling fall, they landed in a place full of skeletons. The old man thought it was all the coconut warrior's fault, so he grabbed a fish bone and threw it at him. Who knew that when the warrior turned around, he was actually a strange-looking sea monster. At the critical moment, the coconut warrior saved them again with his darts. The sea monster deflated just like a balloon. Stimulated by the toxin, it sprayed out corrosive venom. Then the ground suddenly collapsed beneath them, and they fell straight down. But what no one expected was, they actually met the demigod Maui right here. Meanwhile, Moana, who got separated from the group, stumbled into the Batwoman's lair. Although she worked for Nalo, her heart was not evil. She actually hoped Moana would defeat Nalo, so she could finally gain true freedom. After explaining all this, the Batwoman took Moana to the time-space portal. This was the quickest shortcut to Motofitu, and the reason she trapped Maui earlier was to make him team up with Moana again, so they could fight the powerful Nalo together.
Opened it?
Even the demigod Maui couldn't believe it, that Moana actually managed to open the time-space portal. Then, she and the rest of the crew embarked on their adventurous journey to Motofitu. Seeing everything go so smoothly, the crew felt incredibly hyped. Moana was rambling on, eager to catch up with her old friend, but Maui suddenly cut her off.
Sorry, you go.
You're all gonna die.
It turned out Nalo had not only unleashed a terrifying storm over Motofitu, but had also sunk the entire island to the bottom of the sea. This meant that as ordinary humans, it was impossible for them to survive and break the curse. Then the boat broke through the surface, and arrived at their target waters.
Look! The constellation! It's right there!
Moana tried to communicate with the ocean, her closest ally, but the sea remained completely silent. Under Nalo's curse, Moana's power to control the water had vanished. To make matters worse, a terrifying sea serpent had set its sights on them. In this critical moment, the coconut warrior coolly fired his poison dart, but it was completely useless against the sea serpent. It just shook its head and flicked the dart right off. Then, it swung its massive body and crashed straight into the sailboat. The sailboat was badly damaged from the violent impact, but luckily, no one was hurt. After this incident, everyone started to feel fear about the challenges ahead. Moana felt a bit down, and she wasn't sure anymore if she had what it took to fulfill her ancestors' mission. Luckily, Maui was right there by her side, cheering on his best friend. Amid Maui's song, Moana finally regained her old confidence. The crew immediately repaired the sailboat, and although they were still scared, they were determined not to give up the fight. The team regrouped and set sail once again, and this time, they adjusted their plan. Maui, being a demigod, would dive underwater and use his magical weapon to pull Motofitu back to the surface. Meanwhile, Moana would seize the moment to board the island. At first, everything was going perfectly, but after Maui chopped down several bolts of lightning, the tornado suddenly changed direction and swept straight toward Moana's position. It was only then that they realized humans were actually Nalo's primary target. This gave Moana a brand new idea. They decided to beat him at his own game. She asked Loto to chop down the sailboat's mast and used the sail to create a giant kite. This way, as long as the storm got close, the boat would speed forward with the hurricane's boost. While Nalo's attention was fully on Moana and the others, Maui immediately transformed into a hawk and flew back to where Motofitu had sunk. Then he threw his magical weapon to hook onto the island. He used all his strength to pull it back up, but Nalo spotted him at that very moment, so he gathered all the lightning and focused it on Maui. This not only halted the plan, but the magical tattoos on Maui's body, symbolizing his powers, instantly vanished without a trace. Seeing his best friend in grave danger, Moana fearlessly jumped into the sea, relying on her sheer will and belief. She finally managed to touch the surface of Motofitu, just 1 second before the lightning struck. In the very next second, the thick fog overhead was instantly cleared by the sunlight, and Nalo's curse disappeared along with it. However, Moana fell into a deep coma at that moment. The ocean immediately built a protective shield around her. A heartbroken Maui began to sing a traditional Polynesian song, and with the emotional melody, the ancestors gradually appeared beside them. They formed a circle around her, and bestowed upon this brave girl a tattoo symbolizing family honor. Once everything was settled, Moana woke up immediately, and Maui also regained his demigod powers. Even Moana's favorite or was granted with divine power. It was their fearless spirit of challenging the odds that brought Motofitu back to the surface of the sea, with the sound of a conch horn blowing across the entire ocean. From then on, all races around the world were finally connected. However, the Batwoman's betrayal was also discovered by Nalo.
Nalo, I paid my debt. We are finished.
No, we're just getting started.